Just as in days of old, life in Hawaii is lived outdoors. Whether it's surfing, swimming, fishing or picnicking, encounters with nature are infused with the traditional Hawaiian value of aloha aina, love and respect for the land. With several national parks to choose from, the adventures are almost limitless. Go hiking across ancient lava flows and down fluted pali, sea cliffs. Walk along white sand beaches, check out brilliant sunrises and explore giant craters. Here are some of the best experiences Hawaii's national parks have to offer. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Best park for hiking set on the sloping flanks of the world's most active volcano, Kilauea, whose latest eruption began in December of 2020. This extraordinary park on the Big Island, Hawaii is a dramatic reminder that nature remains alive and in perpetual motion. Incredible hiking trails take in lava flows and tubes, steam vents and wild beaches, while a long, winding downhill drive leads past several major sites. Spotlight on Hawaii's volcanoes. Hawaii is an ever-changing destination, where you can see a constantly erupting volcano, hike through lava tubes and see ash rise spectacularly from a huge lake of molten lava. Lonely Planet's Alex Howard explains why it is one of the most unique places in the world. You'll never run out of fascinating wonders at Hawaii's marquee attraction, a newly formed crater lake. Ancient petroglyphs are pecked into hardened lava, while miles of hiking trails across historical flows cover stark desert and thriving rainforest. The park is also one of the island's top spots to experience traditional Hawaiian culture, with year-round festivals, concerts and hula dance performances. After dark, warm up by the fireplace inside the landmark Volcano House Lodge, perched on the rim of Kilauea caldera. Although ogling Kilauea's monstrous crater is big bang for your photo op buck, the real magic of Hawaii Volcanoes National Park can only be found while exploring its 150 miles of trails. It is entirely possible to hike from a lonely beach to the sometimes snowy summit of Mauna Loa, passing grasslands, rainforest oases, lava deserts and steaming craters, with only a brief stint on pavement. While that feat is best reserved for a few extraordinary souls, many shorter journeys will reveal complex and magnificent details impossible to see from behind a windshield. While it might be crowded in July, the National Park Cultural Festival offers free park entrance and fantastic activities. The park is a rainforest, but during August and September there are clearer days on average. Post-high season equals fewer crowds in October, but rain remains at low-ish levels. Visiting Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, try to get an early start. The park is open 24 hours, but the tour buses and crowds start arriving around 10 a.m. The park's 2 vehicle-accessible campgrounds are relatively uncrowded outside of summer months. Nights can be crisp, cool and wet. Campsites are first come, first served, with a 7-night limit. Nearby Volcano Village has the most variety for those who prefer a roof over their heads. This vast and varied park can fill as many days as you give it, particularly if you enjoy hiking. Or you can drive it all in one long 66-mile round-trip journey that takes you down Chain of Craters Road to the suitably named end of the road and back up, with a detour to Helena Pali, ending at Volcano House for a sunset viewing of Kilauea's crater. Even less time? Stick to Crater Rim Drive, where many of the key sites are located. In any case, start at the informative Kilauea Visitor Center, just past the entrance, on your right. Of all the national parks in the USA, this is the one where you really want to check conditions before visiting. Koloko Honokohau National Historical Park. Best hidden secret just north of Honokohau Harbor on the Big Island, Hawaii, on the ocean side of We-19, this 1160-acre national park may be the Kona Coast's most underappreciated ancient Hawaiian site. Hidden among lava fields lies evidence of the innovations that allowed Hawaiians to thrive in this hostile landscape. Fish traps, lava planters used to grow taro and other staples, plus the Ahapua'a land division between Koloko and Honokohau that gives the park its name. There are also heiau, temples, burial caves and petroglyphs. Despite the seemingly endless expanse of lava rock and unbearable midday heat, this is a good place to explore. Go in the early morning, late afternoon or when skies are overcast. Kakua, please, remember not to climb on, move, alter or deface any rock structures. Take special care not to disturb the endangered honu, green sea turtles, who haul out here to rest, feed and bask in the sun. It's illegal to approach them closer than 20 feet away on land, or 50 yards in the water. Visiting Koloko-Honokohau National Historical Park. The park's main entrance is off Highway 19 between miles 96 and 97, where there's a parking lot and a small but informative ranger-staffed visitor center. Puuhonua o Honaunau National Historical Park. Best park to see wildlife standing at the end of a long semi-desert of thorny scrub and lava plains. The national park fronting Honaunau Bay on the Big Island, Hawaii provides one of the state's most evocative experiences of ancient Hawaii, and easy access to some of the best snorkeling anywhere. In short, Puuhonua o Honaunau combines a seminal historical experience with some of the most impressive wildlife spotting on the island, and to access all this, you just need to be able to fit a snorkel in your mouth. The park's tongue-twister name simply means, place of refuge at Honaunau. It was once a sanctuary where kapu, taboo, breakers could have their lives spared. A half-mile walking tour encompasses major sites. The visitor center provides a brochure map with cultural information. You enter the park in the village-like royal grounds, where Kona Alii, chiefs, and their warriors lived. The spiritual atmosphere is greatly enhanced by gently breaking waves and wind-rustled palms. Throughout the grounds are wooden ki, deity images, standing up to 15 feet high. Early morning and late afternoon are the optimal times to visit to avoid the midday heat and crowds. The park's annual cultural festival, an extravaganza of traditional food, hula dancing, Hawaiian crafts and cultural demonstrations, takes place on the weekend closest to July 1st. Visiting Puuhonua o Honaunau National Historical Park. Just south of the park's central village area, an oceanfront palm tree grove holds one of South Kona's choicest picnic areas. Parking, picnic tables and BBQs face a wide slab of pahoehoe, smooth-flowing lava, which is littered with wave-tumbled lava rock boulders and pockmarked with busy tide pools where you may encounter sea turtles. Swimming is possible but can be dicey. Judge the surf and entry for yourself. Note that it's kapu, forbidden, to snorkel here. Kalaupapa National Historical Park. Best remote park. The spectacularly beautiful Kalaupapa Peninsula is the most remote part of Hawaii's most isolated island, Molokai. The only way to reach this lush green peninsula, edged with long, white sand beaches, is on a twisting trail down the steep Pali, sea cliffs, the world's highest, or by plane. This remoteness is the reason that it was, for more than a century, where Hansen's disease, leprosy, patients were forced into isolation. From the colony's inception until separation ended in 1969, 8,000 patients were forced to come to Kalaupapa. Less than a dozen patients, respectively called residents, remain. They have chosen to stay in the only home they have ever known and have resisted efforts to move them away. The peninsula has been designated a National Historical Park and is managed by the Hawaii State Department of Health and the National Park Service. Visiting Kalaupapa National Historical Park. Since visitor numbers are limited each day, you must have a reservation with a local guide, such as Kalaupapa Rare Adventures. A mule ride is the only way down the Pali, cliff, into Kalaupapa apart from hiking, which the outfit also offers, but be prepared. This is not an easy ride. You'll be sore afterward even if you're an experienced rider, and it's a safe bet that you've never experienced a ride like this one. Make reservations well ahead. Haleakala National Park. Best park to for a sunrise. As you hike into Haleakala on Maui, the first thing you notice is the crumbly lunar landscape. Then comes the eerie quiet. The only sound is the crunching of volcanic cinders beneath your feet. The trail continues through a tableau of stark lava, rainbow-colored cinder cones and ever-changing clouds. In the park's coastal section, waterfalls tumble into brilliant pools flanked by trails, viewpoints and a bamboo forest. To peer into the soul of Maui, climb to the dormant summit of Haleakala volcano. Below the rim, mists caress a vast crater, which glows ethereally in the early light of sunrise. Lookouts provide breathtaking views of the moonscape below and the cinder cones marching across it. The rest of this amazing park, which is divided into two distinct sections, is all about interacting with this mountain of solid lava and its rare life forms, some of them found only here. You can hike down into the crater, follow lush trails on the slopes, or put your mountain bike through its paces. For the ultimate adventure, get a permit, bring a tent and camp beneath the stars. The experience will stick with you for a lifetime. One of the park's top draws, the sunrise experience. Haleakala means house of the sun. So it's no surprise that, since the time of the first Hawaiians, people have been making pilgrimages up to Haleakala to watch the sunrise. It is an experience that borders on the mystical. In 2017, the Park Service began requiring reservations for those arriving between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. in order to manage crowds and protect the park. Plan to arrive at the summit an hour before the actual sunrise, which will guarantee you time to see the world awaken. Around that point, the night sky begins to lighten and turn purple-blue, and the stars fade away. Ethereal silhouettes of the mountain ridges appear. The gentlest colors show up in the fleeting moments just before dawn. The undersides of the clouds lighten first, accenting the night sky with pale silvery slivers and streaks of pink. About 20 minutes before sunrise, the light intensifies on the horizon in bright oranges and reds. Turn around for a look at Science City, whose domes turn a blazing pink. For the grand finale, the moment when the disk of the sun appears, all of Haleakala takes on a fiery glow. It feels like you're watching the earth awaken. Come prepared, it's going to be cold. Temperatures hovering around freezing and a biting wind are the norm at dawn, and there's often frosty ice on the top layer of cinders. If you just can't get up that early, sunsets at Haleakala are also exceptional, and favored by locals who want to avoid the sunrise crowds. The sunsets here have inspired poets throughout history, too. Visiting Haleakala National Park. Temperatures at the summit can be extreme, and they may fluctuate rapidly. Year-round temperatures range from below freezing to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius, to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 degrees Celsius. Expect temperatures to drop 3 degrees Fahrenheit for every 1,000 ft rise in elevation. The Kipahula area is warmer and wetter. Expect daytime temperatures averaging 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius, to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 degrees Celsius, year-round. At night, the temperature average is 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius, to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 24 degrees Celsius. Park visitation numbers remain fairly consistent year-round, but winter and summer are considered the busiest seasons. There are basic campsites and cabins in the summit area. Camping permits are first come, first served, and cabins must be reserved. The campground in Kipahula is first come, first served. Pearl Harbor National Memorial Best Historical Site. One of the USA's most significant World War II sites, this National Park Service, NPS, monument narrates the history of the Pearl Harbor attack on Oahu and commemorates fallen service members. The memorial is entirely wheelchair accessible. The visitor center at the main entrance is the hub for visits to Pearl Harbor's other parks and museums. The memorial grounds are much more than just a boat dock for the USS Arizona Memorial. Be sure to stop at the two superb museums, where multimedia and interactive displays bring to life the road to war and the attack and aftermath through historic photos, films, illustrated graphics and taped oral histories. A shoreside walk passes signs illustrating how the attack unfolded in the now peaceful harbor. The bookstore sells many books and movies about the Pearl Harbor attack and WWII's Pacific Theater, as well as informative illustrated maps of the battle. If you're lucky, one of the few remaining, 95-plus-year-old Pearl Harbor veterans who volunteer might be out front signing autographs and answering questions. Visiting Pearl Harbor National Memorial. Various ticket packages are available for the 3 attractions that have admission fees. The best deal is a 7-day pass that includes admission to all. Tickets are sold online, at the visitor center ticket counter, and at each attraction. A virtual reality attraction allows visitors to don headsets, $7.17, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and walk the decks of the pre-war USS Arizona, experience the Pearl Harbor attack and visit the USS Arizona Memorial. Good for people who can't get a ticket. Pearl Harbor Historic Sites, a private nonprofit adjunct of the National Park Service, offers narrated tours of the main Pearl Harbor sites. It has a desk inside the visitor center and sells various combined tickets to the main attractions. A passport to Pearl Harbor ticket includes tours of all the main sites and costs adult, child $79.99 per $39.99.